Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So what do we have today? We'll be reacting inshallah to this short clip by this dude, I don't know his name. We'll be reacting to the fact that he said Allah is not a loving God, he doesn't love his enemies, but Jesus does love his enemies, and this is one of the reasons why he came to die for his enemies. So we'll be seeing the truth behind this. So let's go right into it.
A lot of people don't know this, but in Islam, God is not understood to love everyone. Over and over in the Quran, we read that Allah does not love the non-believer or the non-Muslim. Allah, it makes sense.
You see, I totally agree with this guy. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the glorious Quran that Inna Allah la yuhibbul kafirin. Allah doesn't love the disbelieving people. And this is why we Muslims say when you die as a disbeliever, you are ending up in hell. There are no two ways about it. And we as Muslims won't sugarcoat anything just to make people accept Islam. No. Allah has made the truth distinct from the falsehood. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Baqarah, قَدْ تَبَيَّنَ الرُّشْدُ مِنَ الْغَيِّ. Allah has made the truth distinct from the falsehood. So it is left for you to go and research. It is left for you to go and study, read, and understand. Allah has given you all the resources you need. You have your brains, you have your heart, you have your mind. You can think for yourselves. Don't allow people to think for you. Don't allow people to read for you. Take the books of Allah. Take these books, read them. The Quran. How many times have I told people to read the Quran, to recite the Quran, to know the meanings of the Quran? And they told me in black and white that they won't take the Quran to read, that the Bible is sufficient for us. How can you say this? And tomorrow, if something happens to you, you would have yourself to blame.
Rushdie believe that Islam teaches them to attack their enemies and to wish death and punishment on them.
You see, I totally disagree with this. Allah has not asked us simply because they are our enemies. Allah has not asked us to go and kill them, to go and, crucify them and all that. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَمَنِ اعْتَدَى عَلَيْكُمْ فَاعْتَدُوا عَلَيْهِ بِمِثْلِ مَا اعْتَدَى عَلَيْكُمْ. Whoever transgress against you, try do the same in a similar fashion, in a similar way that they have done to you. So you don't go beyond what they've done. And we should understand that we as Muslims are not the one that attack first. Allah has only commanded us to reciprocate. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَقَاتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ الَّذِينَ يُقَاتِلُوكُمْ وَلَا تَعْتَدُوا. Fight those in the path of Allah. Fight in the path of Allah. Those who have fought or who are fighting you, and do not transgress. Even if they fight us, we shouldn't transgress. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said. Do not transgress. Inna Allah la yuhibbul mu'tadin. Allah doesn't love those who transgress. So as you can see, Allah doesn't ask us to go and start fighting people if they don't fight us. Okay, we should go and start fighting the enemy if they don't fight us. And in fact, Allah asks us what? Allah said, لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم. Allah has not forbidden you those who have chosen not to fight you. وَلَمْ يُخْرِجُوكُم مِّن دِيَارِكُم, and have chosen not to chase you away from your house. أَن تَبَرُّوهُمْ وَتُقْسِطُوا إِلَيْهِمْ, for you to be righteous towards them, for you to be good towards them. Allah have asked us to be righteous and good towards these people who have chosen not to fight us, who have chosen not to chase us from our homes. And finally Allah said, أَن تَبَرُّوهُمْ وَتُقْسِطُوا إِلَيْهِمْ, and for you to be just towards them. Inna Allah yuhibbul muqsitin. Inna Allah yuhibbul muqsitin. Allah indeed loves those who are just. You see, this is what Allah has asked us to do. If you are an enemy, that doesn't mean we should start fighting you. No, we should always try to talk and resolve our differences. But if you choose to fight us, if you choose to chase us from our house, then we will fight you back. And this is exactly what the next verse said. Okay, that Allah has only forbidden you those who have chased you away from, those who have fought you and chased you away from your homes, and aid in that, in your expulsion, then you shouldn't be allies to these kinds of people. Because if you are allies to these kinds of people, then you are the wrongdoer. So these are the things Allah has asked us to do. So please try to study the Quran, try to read the Quran, and not jump into conclusion or cook some things in your head and come out spewing these things that are false, because you are only misleading those people who have chosen not. You see, like I said, Allah doesn't love the disbelieving people, and when you die as a disbeliever, you are ending up in hell. Okay, there are no two ways about it. But tell me this, because this will debunk all your arguments. If you believe that if I die as a Muslim, I will end up in hell, do you believe if I die as a Muslim, I would end up in hell? If yes, you believe that, then it simply tells me that what you believe in, never really loves me the way you proclaim he loves. Because if he truly loves me, love his enemies, then I won't end up in hell. No matter what I do, I would still end up in paradise, because Jesus loved his enemies. He came to die for his enemies. So believing that he died for me or not doesn't really matter, because the word enemy is there. Okay, so believing that he died for me or not dying for me doesn't really change anything if he truly loves me, because there's no how you can marry punishing someone in eternal hell and saying that yes, you love this person while punishing him. These two can work hand in hand. Either you love him, then you give him bliss, or you don't love him and you punish him for what he did. So there's no how you can marry these two together. So if you believe I'm ending up in hell, then this, you should know that it has totally defeated your argument. Your argument has no grounds to stand on. If you believe if I die as a Muslim, I would end up in hell. But I believe if you die as a disbeliever, you would end up in hell. Why? Because Allah has clearly stated it. No sugarcoating, no nothing. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.